Thank you very much, Brian. And I know my Dallas-born husband has been telling me Dallas is the only place to be for many years, so he will appreciate that bet being settled. As I hope many of you are learning today, Conti's purpose is benefiting the lives of everyone we touch. That includes the community, both locally and globally as well. Conti supports a number of causes and foundations. One of them is called Paper for Water. We're pleased to have Ken Adams, Travis Nolan, and Michael Roddy with us today to tell you a little bit about themselves and their inspirational work. Ken, join us first.
So exciting to see so many of you here. We were here last year, and I recognize a lot of you. In the last year, a lot of exciting things have happened, and it was great to hear our last speaker talk about the future. And I'm hoping, I recognize that I am between you and lunch, but I'm hoping that the next 10 or 15 minutes will be inspiring to you. We heard some predictions that were sobering. We heard some predictions that were exciting, but I'm hoping here in the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to introduce you to a couple of Gen Zs that are inspiring, and it's really awesome. I think you'll really be excited to hear them talk. We're going to start here with a little video. This was released about 5 weeks ago, and shown in over 300,000 classrooms across the United States. So if you think the average classroom size is about 20 to 30 students, somewhere between 6 and 9 million kids saw this, and hopefully we're inspired, and hopefully you'll be inspired.
If you want to do something in your community, it doesn't have to start out as this huge, massive project with really big vision or anything. You just have to start with an idea, something that you love, or some problem that you really want to change.
So Paper for Water is a nonprofit organization my sister and I started 7 years ago, and we raise money to fund water projects around the world by making and selling origami decoration.
I'm Catherine Adams, I'm 13, and I live in Dallas, Texas.
And my name is Isabel Adams, I'm 15, and I also live in Dallas, Texas.
And we learned how to fold origami. And we also learned that a child died every 15 seconds from unclean water. We wanted to do something about it. So we took something that we loved, which was origami, and we started taking donations for them. By the end of the year, we had raised over $10,000 and overfunded a whole well in Ethiopia.
We are here in Ethiopia, and this is where our first well was put in. So the well we're at currently, it services the school, community, and the health center.
We have a bunch of volunteers, and usually on an ornament, either one person will do it or they'll have a group of people.
There's no possible way we could do Paper for Water without them. There's just not enough hours in the day. We wouldn't be able to fold as many ornaments. We wouldn't be able to reach as many people. It's just impossible to do anything without them. In 2013, we became an official nonprofit, and since then, we've funded over 170 water projects and raised over $1.5 million. Our end goal is to solve the world water crisis, and while it's a huge goal, it's definitely doable. We have done an exhibit at the Asian Art Museum here in Dallas. We also have our ornaments in several stores around Dallas. Some of the biggest things I've learned is just how to interact with people on a whole nother level. I used to be very shy. I'm not anymore. Adults are easier to speak in front of.
Old people.
Yes, they love you.
Despite being hard of hearing,
they love you. Our goal is to reach 20,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, because at that point you can then start raising money using your channel, and that way we can start reaching even more people with clean water.
All right, so if you have your phones on you and you have a YouTube account, go on right now and subscribe. It's Paper for Water. The last 3 or 4 years that we've been working with Conti, it's been such a great relationship. Obviously, they're in the business of making other people's lives better, not just here in the DFW Metroplex, but around the world. One of the first projects they did was in Kenya, and we had the opportunity in 2016 to visit that project and just see what a dramatic transformation it had in the community. If you look up in the left-hand corner, that was their original water source, and they had to walk about 4 or 5 miles to get there. And that's just an all-consuming event for the kids in that community, and they don't get to go to school. We have a well that we put in there in 2015, and you can see they're beginning to build a school in the background, which is awesome. So we're really excited about that community. They've also done another project. There we go. Here in Kenya, and this was actually a much larger scale project. You can see there, kind of on the right center, we put in a solar panel there, and there's actually a kiosk that dispenses water, and that services a community of several hundred people and a school. And lastly, this community here in Peru, we had to fly in on a plane and land on a river to get here because it's otherwise a 7-day boat ride from the nearest community that you can fly into. So it's pretty remote. By the year 2050, there are going to be 1 billion people, 1 billion with a B, without access to a road. You're going to have to navigate. Most of them are going to be in the Amazon basin. And water is just really hard to get there, clean water. So getting a drill rig into this community and drilling a well was pretty amazing to them. We have done now, I think, about 20 projects in the Amazon basin and are scheduled to do a lot more. So just incredibly excited about this continued relationship that we have with Conti. We have one more video here that I'm going to show.
Hi, my name is Catherine Adams,
And I'm Isabel Adams.
and we are the co-CEOs and founders of Paper for Water.
Thank you so much for supporting Paper for Water. We would not be able to help as many people without your support.
When you're watching this video, I will be in New Mexico on the Navajo Reservation volunteering with my friends.
And I will actually be in Japan buying origami paper from one of the origami warehouses in Tokyo.
Today, Travis and Michael will be presenting to you.
This is really what Paper for Water here in the US is all about, is empowering kids to go out and teaching more people about what Paper for Water is doing.
Thank you so much for your time.
Hi, my name is Travis Nolan. I've been folding origami for about 10 years now. I started folding in the 2nd grade and folded progressively more complex models throughout middle school. I've now designed more than 50 original models and compete in worldwide origami competitions. I founded my own origami group in 2017 and began collaborating with Paper for Water after we saw their display at the Galleria. We attended Paper for Water's 7-year anniversary last November. At the event, the David O'Brien speech and the announcement of the 2020 challenge inspired me to fund a well in collaboration with Paper for Water. We have worked with them since then, but my class at the time was considering taking on a legacy project. And so I brought up the idea with my class because Isabel and Catherine will be the first to tell you that they couldn't have come this far without the volunteers. And as inspired as I was personally by their success, I knew that I wouldn't be able to fund a well alone. So I announced the idea to my class, and it was accepted enthusiastically as our legacy project. We began folding and selling origami ornaments and have worked with several we began folding and selling origami ornaments and have worked with several local organizations, including the Dallas Museum of Art, Waters Creek, and West Elm, and have folded, sold, and taught origami at many local events. One of our biggest sources of fundraising throughout the rest of the year will be through Paper for Water's Christmas Tree Project. We are looking for donors who are interested in purchasing an entire Christmas tree covered in origami ornaments. These trees are beautiful decorations and serve the threefold purpose of enhancing any lobby or public space, as well as spreading the word about Paper for Water's mission and ultimately saving lives. We will be working hard throughout the rest of the year to find donors for these trees and to fold the ornaments to cover them with. The name that we chose for our Paper for Water group at Cistercian was Well Done 2020, as a reference to Parable of the Talents, which has been present in my mind throughout this whole process. I've been blessed for years with the talent of origami, and Paper for Water has given me the opportunity to use this talent to help others. Paper for Water has inspired and empowered me to not be the man who buried his talent under the ground. And they've empowered us by removing many of the obstacles that projects like this usually face. We don't have to worry about the logistics of building a well on another continent. And that way, Paper for Water has given us the ability to really make a difference. And that's a side of Paper for Water that you don't hear about as often. Paper for Water's main goal is to bring water and the word to the thirsty, and this has been an incredible success. But as important as it is to look at the effect that Paper for Water's volunteers have had on Paper for Water, it's very important to look as well at the effect that Paper for Water has had on its volunteers. Catherine and Isabel's success serves as an inspiration to young people everywhere, and Paper for Water is spreading the seeds of goodwill, charity, and community service among the youth. With the advent of Paper for Water's new Changemakers Council, which is an advisory board for Paper for Water made up entirely of young people, Paper for Water is continuing and expanding upon this trend. The Changemakers Council now gives us the opportunity as well to practice the skills necessary for helping people. So we now get not only the inspiration and capability from Paper for Water, but also get the chance to practice the skills necessary to help people. So through Changemakers, we get to practice skills such as public speaking, as well as event coordination, professional cooperation, event coordination, invaluable skills. Paper for Water has been a tremendous help for me and is helping me to help others. I hope that you will consider supporting us in our mission. Thank you.
All right, the last thing we're going to do here is a short little interview with Michael. Michael's one of our new volunteers and was brave enough to agree to come up here and answer some questions with me. So Michael, you've been folding origami now 5 or 6 years, so you're no neophyte to this art form. What do you like most about origami?
I like origami because you can take something as simple as a sheet of paper and you can transform it into pretty much whatever you'd like. That is, if you take the time to learn the folds.
So, Michael, you found us back in February because you were doing some research for a STEM class that you had. What interested you enough to actually write an email to someone you'd never met and be willing to volunteer your time to an organization that you'd never worked with before?
There are a lot of great organizations out there, but I really wanted to find one that allowed me to practice my skills while helping people gain access to clean water.
Awesome. So what excites you most about working with Paper for Water?
Paper for Water helps to provide clean water to communities worldwide that would otherwise have no source for drinkable water. Clean water ranks with food and shelter as a basic human need, and the results of a water roller tank provides immediate benefits to a community.
What do you hope to accomplish this next year working with Paper for Water?
I'd like to continue to spread the word about the organization, practice my teaching skills, and help Paper for Water develop new ideas in order to bring clean water to more communities.
And what kind of long-term goals do you have that you think working with Paper for Water are going to help you accomplish?
I'd like to continue to develop leadership skills and fundraising skills that I can take with me, build confidence, and learn how volunteer groups can work together effectively.
Awesome. Let's give a hand for Michael Roddy. So wanted to take a moment. Do you have any questions about Paper for Water? All right. So we are fortunate. This last year, we've actually developed a relationship with the Four Seasons Resort. We did their hotel lobby trees this last year. We had 2 trees, $25,000 a piece, that were in their lobby. It was pretty amazing. We are actually having a camp here on site July 1st through 3rd. So if you have any kids or grandkids or nieces or nephews that are ages 8 through 12, it's not too late to register. You can go onto our website, paperforwater.org. And if you have a corporation that is looking for a great way to engage your employees, engage your family, we love doing corporate events and would be happy to do that for you. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you to Ken and Travis and Michael. You guys were awesome. There's also a Paper for Water table. They're going to be hanging out in the back, so they'll be happy to answer any questions or speak to you about their organization a little more. All right, we've digested a lot of information so far this morning. It's time to digest some food. So it's lunchtime. We'll be having food momentarily, and then our afternoon session will begin at 1:10. Thanks again.
Sorry, there's one more thing. Hey, Ken, can you come back here, please? Ken? Please come back here. I think that in life we all go back to friendships, relationships, and ultimately we are just planting seeds. We don't have control where we're going, but we always should be planting seeds all the time. This relationship, we're very thankful to another friend, Rick Sapio, who introduced and began from that. As we continue to grow, the name of Stuart, myself, and everybody from the Conti family, our investors as well, we're going to be donating to another well from us to thank you for all you do. It's an honor to be able to work with you.
Thank you very much.